All right, all right, all right. Happy Star Wars Day. On this, the 4th day of May, 2026. Welcome to another episode of Two Average Joes. Coming to you from Lake Havasu, Arizona, Tony P. And from Long Beach, California, Joe Kelly. And without further ado, Two Average Joes. Hey, what's happening, brother? How's life treating you?
Settling in, and it's pretty good. But I owe an apology,
And what's that about?
and I'm going to have to read this. I did not write this apology, but it certainly applies to me, and I'm sure hundreds of thousands of other people. Dear Pistons, on behalf of the entire Pistons fan base, we would normally and formally want to apologize for the slander, disrespect, and all unnecessary hate. We let our emotions take over. We were impatient. We overreacted, but most importantly, we were wrong. You've been nothing but professional, consistent, and committed to the team and to the city of Detroit. We see it now. We appreciate you now. And we got nothing but respect for the Pistons. Our bad. We got you 100%. Piston fan.
Well, that
So
is
true,
a very
right?
humble...
A week ago, right? I started the show off. I was pissing and moaning and crying like a little bitch, right? And look what happened. The last time Detroit came back from a 3-1 was I want to say 2006, maybe 2003, but I think 2006 against the Magic. Talk about getting in your head for future games, right?
Yeah,
They've owned them twice.
it happens. You get something starts off wrong, and it can create some unity in the team. I mean, on a very small example, I was on the Outback Steakhouse softball team for Lakewood, and we played
Right.
everybody in the West Coast, and we had to play up in, I think it was up in Silicon Valley. We played at this tournament there, and we had to get seeded at this tournament, and we lost the first two games, so we were seeded second to last. And we were a good team, but we were pissed. Nobody was having a good time. Nobody was gelling as a team. And then it's like, oh, let's go get something to eat. And they said, you can't have anything to eat. You got to just go play the next game. And we were all pissed off together. And pissed off together because we couldn't eat, we started kicking ass. And we ended up winning every game after that and won the entire tournament. But it's like, look what happened. So you got a bunch of people giving you shit, and then all of a sudden they do great. And now you're gonna they're now they're Detroit's team, so it's always a good thing. So
I think in some cases too, it's a bit of human nature, right? When you're when you feel you've been disrespected and you're not gelling like that, it just happens individually or as a team. But sure, I'm glad to see it.
Well, and it's better than looking at what's going on with your the Red Sox are playing the Tigers right now. They're in the let me see, 2 outs, the top of the seventh. Red Sox are winning 4-2. It was 2-0, and Red Sox just scored 4 runs from the time I started this podcast to talk to you. So, and the Braves don't play; they're playing in the West Coast up in Seattle. They play in about an hour. But hey, how about those standings? Tigers. My brother-in-law is happy. He says if we just finish 500, we're happy. Well, you're at 519, so you're just right about that.
They start off sluggish and then they get on that roll. And, that's what happened all last year, right? Remember, they had 2 or 3 peaks and valleys, right?
Yeah.
Where they were like on top and then eating shit, and then on top and then eating shit.
All my haters who hate the Braves have nothing bad to say about them now. We're sitting in first place of everybody, 25-10. I mean, that's a...
Plus, it's so early.
I know, but to be at 700% this early in the game is still just a good ego massage. And what I still firmly believe, adamantly believe, that it was Walt Weiss getting in the mix in that brawl in Anaheim that caused the team to spark some unity. I mean,
So you think you need to do that once in a while?
Well, I think it's nice to create, it's like, yeah, all right, dude. And the team unity creates because everybody's pissed off about something. And the same thing that happened to me at the softball, this happened with them. And look at them, they're winning. I bet you look at their record since that happened, they probably lost 3 games since then. I mean, they're on it right now. So I'm just going to enjoy this wave while I'm on it because, yeah, you're right, it never lasts. But I just like to get to 100 games. That would be nice. Now, I've got something I want to recommend to you real quickly before we go on further. It's called Project Hail Mary. It's a movie that's out in the theater right now, and I saw it, and it was one of the most incredible films that I have ever seen in my life. And my wife can't stand science.
What's the name of it again?
It's called Project Hail Mary, like throwing a
Got it,
bomb.
just like
Exactly, and it's with Ryan Gosling, who's married to Eva Mendes. You know that guy?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
it's with him, and it's
familiar.
basically there's some other people in there, but it's basically just him and an alien. I mean, it's one of the most incredible. The premise they tell you is that hey, the sun is dying, and we can't figure out why. But you wrote a paper about this years ago about a theory about this, and you're the closest thing to a solution we have. And he's like, hey, I'm a middle school science teacher. He's got a PhD in something, but he's a high school science teacher. So he ends up going on this cruise to this star out in the middle of nowhere to find out why this is the only star that's surviving in the entire system of stars, if there's something different. And it's like you think, okay, this is going to be okay, but my wife absolutely loved it. The
Really?
interaction is it's amazing. Make you laugh, it'll make you cry, it'll make you feel good about things. It's nice about time to have something good. It's not the aliens that have come to destroy the earth and maim and kill people, but it's an interaction of hey, we can do symbiotic relationship and get along. So
That movie was a couple theaters down, and
they're all over the place. I'm sorry.
funny.
It's death and grief and sorrow and murder. Yeah, big time. So
I did want to pick your brain. We sort of talked about this a couple shows back or so. Remember the Reacher guy, the actor, right?
yeah, but then
I
before I
remember
forget, have me remind me about cruise ships. I got another something on cruise ships again. But all right, talk about Reacher. Talk about the guy that does Reacher.
cruise ships.
Yeah, I got something else about cruise ships.
Yeah, I want to go on a cruise.
No, you don't.
So that we talked about the situation and you know the responsibility of somebody that knows they're at a greater physical advantage, right? So there was a security video of this. Looked like a bar had a pool table, right? Husband, wife, husband, girlfriend, whatever, boyfriend, girlfriend. They're playing pool, and there's this drunk dude and a smaller guy, and he sort of wanders into the frame, and next thing you know, he's walking past the girl, and he's like pats her ass, or grabs her ass or something, gives her a quick pat. Now the guy is physically large. You can tell he's in shape, right? And he sort of goes around the girl. So the drunk guy, not that it would have mattered because he was so wasted, didn't see anything coming. And the dude just, totally cold cocks him and lays him out. And, he's, like on the ground, motionless. And then like people are walking around him and stuff. So I asked the question again. And in this situation where someone's drunk, now I know they were drunk, so probably 9 out of 10 times you're going to end up having to beat their ass anyway because they weren't ever going to get smart enough to realize that they fucked up. But it seems like isn't there a degree of responsibility to at least try that? Like the guy could have went up to him and said, "Listen, you got about 2 seconds to get the fuck out of this bar, or I'm gonna fucking lay you out." I mean, like tell him, right? It's like terminating somebody, right? You let them know what's going on. Here's the deal. You can fix this, or it's going to end poorly. And of course, they're drunk, so they're not going to try to fix it. But that's not the point. Do you think it's due to at least give them an opportunity when they're such a physical? And now the person's inebriated, so you probably didn't even have to be much bigger than them. You could have knocked them out with your offhand. What do you say? Where's the ethical thing to do? Not necessarily the legal. He probably had all the right to do it, and even that's
Right.
probably questionable.
Right. Well, I've done a lot of bouncing in my day, and so I've seen a lot of different situations where it could be taken either way, and a decision was made, and you're just kind of going, okay, we'll see how this plays out. So it depends
Right.
on the situation, because I've seen situations where you've got to really attack. I mean, even at West Covina, one of the bars over there, over near Monrovia, it's one of those really ghetto type areas over there. I'm sorry to say whoever lives over there, but Alhambra. Okay, Alhambra over there. It's not a real nice area, and the security was zip tying guys when they had got in trouble, and they all got arrested for zip tying them for unlawful detention, and they weren't policemen, but they were breaking up fights. These guys were
Right.
throwing fights, so they tied them down and zip tied them like hogs, and they got arrested for that. So it's like it's a tough one. You have to let people know. I mean, I've been in a bar situation where myself and Chris Kozak, we were working at Black Angus and Torrance, and all of us went over to this Bobby McGee's, whatever that corner, Hula Hands or whatever is the bar in the corner. We were partying over there, and there was a bunch of girls doing blow in the bathroom and in the girls' bathroom. But Kozak and Chris Thompson was the guy's name. He was a bartender also. He said, "Hey, girls, come on, let's go." He opens the door, and this girl who wasn't with us rushes the door. It's like, "Fuck you." And she starts kicking at him and stuff. And Kozak he's a fourth degree black belt in Taekwondo, Hapkido, which is all 7 or 5 Korean art forms. He knows it's a badass dude. Just kind of grabs her foot and he's like, no, we're not going to do this. And she's trying to swell at him. And he just goes bam, 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 and kicks her like 5 times really quick in the butt just to let her know, hey, I know what I'm doing here. I've got a hold of you. And he drops her. She didn't fall down, but he turned around and her boyfriend's coming at him. And all of a sudden he's like, well, I'm gonna kick your ass for touching my girl. All of a sudden we're in a circle and the calm, sarcastic bartender, this girl, she walks up, she goes, listen, she puts her arm around the guy. She goes, see this guy here? This guy knows about 100 ways to break you in half. And he's a black belt in something. But I'm telling you what, I've seen it in action. It's not pretty. You might want to just walk away from this. And he's going, you can see in his face, like going, maybe that's a good idea. And his girlfriend goes, fuck you. If you don't hit him, I'm going to hit him. And we're like going, so this guy, and he's got 3 friends with him. This guy takes a swing at at Thompson. Thompson's like, out of the way, back fist. Another guy comes at him, back fist, kick, boom. 4 people down. I mean, he just took every one of those guys out. And he says, I told you I didn't want a problem. And now the security was there and they saw it. We didn't get in trouble for anything because we were attacked. Even though
that's the difference.
Shouldn't have gone into the
he
girls'
gave him
bathroom.
an opportunity to avoid the situation, and when they didn't, he acted appropriately. But then he did, at that point he was almost doing it in self-defense. It's like if the built guy would have went up to the drunk guy and said, "Hey, you just touched my girl. That's inappropriate. You need to exit right now. Get the fuck out of here. Just take off. Do yourself a favor, whatever." And then the guy's going to take a swing at him, and then you take care of business. But at least now you're acting in self-defense. I don't know. It just seems when you know that there's that much of an advantage.
I like it to stop.
Don't they have a responsibility? Do you have to register that nowadays?
Well, you have to be registered, and you're going to kill a guy. But it's like the thing is martial arts is not an aggressive art; it's a defensive art. So it's just a matter of blocking. We can do this all day long. Block, 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 block. It's like in Kempo. There's never a strike. It's just block, block, back and forth. So nobody ever wins really in a Kempo fight because it's all about blocking things. So the thing is like with martial arts, I mean, I've seen situations where martial arts has been an incredible like deterrent. What it was for me, since I knew, first of all, that I didn't mind getting hit. I knew how to take a punch. At the time I was young, I could take one, but I also knew how to really, really hurt somebody if I wanted to. And when you have that kind of knowledge, you don't want to use as much. But I tell you, this worked every single time. I look them in the eyes and go, are you sure this is what you want to do? If that's what you want to do, we can go that route. But my guess is there's a couple options. One of them, we can do that, and I could use some exercise, so that's a good one. Now, the second one is you might just want to skedaddle out of here. That's
exercise.
I'm just like, hey, I'm up for a good exercise. I get paid for this. So I'll get paid, you'll get out of jail, and I'll just go and have a beer. So
you must be at least a decent judge at seeing somebody when they're performing that type of ability, right?
Oh, yeah.
So Steven Seagal, any legitimacy to his ability? I mean, I know he gets punked a lot, and I know a lot of it's for show now that he's like fucking 380 pounds. But, in the younger days, I heard they still did a lot with the camera as far as speeding certain scenes, up to make it look like the hands were moving faster. Is there any core talent there? Where do you think his level really is?
Well, I think he knows the art enough to portray it. But the kind of stuff that I watch him do is more like, if I don't fall for you, my arm gets broken. I mean, so it's like it's not legitimately real, because if somebody was really coming after you, you wouldn't throw them with something. You would break their arm. They'd go, what the fuck? I mean, that's what would happen, because, it's not like, I'm going to throw you. No, it's like, I'm going to break your arm so you don't have to hurt me anymore. That's what's going to happen. Or I'm going to break a rib. So it's like fake up high and hit to the ribs and like, I can't do anything. I mean, one thing I used to do... one thing I did that was, it's when you get confident, there was something I did a couple of times and it works and it's such good for show, but it's a spinning spinning knuckle punch. So I look at like a ballerina, I turn my head, and as I come around, it's smacking you right on the side of the head. Now, it doesn't kill you, but you're going to go, and you see stars. And it's like, when you're down there, it's like, now you're open game. I can kick you in the face. I can break your leg. I've got you. Are you sure you want to keep doing this? So there's ways that somebody knows what they're doing. Like Chris Thompson had the best one I've ever seen in my life. This big 300-pound Samoans leaning over. You know how they have the stand-up bar, sit-down part of the bar, and you're in the bar is lower than the sit-down part, right?
Right.
All
Right.
right. You walk into there. So he's right there. And this Samoan guy's, give me a fucking drink, brother. Give me a fucking drink in his face. And Chris is trying to take care of this. And then this guy goes, I'll kick your fucking ass. And Chris goes, whew, the two thumbs like this underneath this guy's chin. Without even looking, goes wham like that. And this guy's arms dropped out of his side. And he looked like a rag doll. And Chris goes, do I have your attention? And he goes, uh-huh. He says, I'm going to let go. And if you don't walk your ass out of my bar, do you understand what I can do to you? Yeah, I understand. Okay, I'm going to go. All right, have a good night. So it's when you see stuff like that, you're like, what the hell? That's Zen kind of stuff. It's, Mr. Miyagi shit. So,
It's also using your talent with a high degree of responsibility
right,
because you're giving the person the option.
right,
If the person doesn't take it, well, then so be it. That was their choice, right?
right.
Now they're saying, I want to get my ass beat.
See,
For a split second, you give them a chance to think about it.
but see, the coolest part about people don't understand about fighting is that if I just sit here with my arms on my chest, my elbows on my chest like this, you can wail on me. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to redirect your punches really gently with my hand, and you're going to tire out in about 10 seconds. Your arms are going to drop, and you're going to be an open. These television fights, they don't last 4 minutes, dude.
Right.
The average fight lasts less than 30 seconds, and you're on the ground. That's why I learned ground maneuvering. But it's like I just sit there and you can. There's one thing you used to do, as John taught us, is to go 1, 2, 3. And I'm not trying to punch anybody. I'm just going like this, going 1, 2, 3. And people are like trying to work around you, and you watch their arms start to drop. And when the arms drop, it's like bam, good night, Irene. I mean, because that's the beauty of fighting. It's like it's very defensive, and you don't have to hit a lot or be some badass. You just have to let the other person make the mistake.
So bottom line, did you believe the guy had the right to do what he did? Someone touches his girl's ass without any warning. He comes from right on the side of him and just fucking cold cocks him in the face and lays him out cold.
No, I don't agree with that. I mean, I would probably grab him by the throat and say, "Do you understand where this grip comes from? Do you understand where it can go?" Okay? If you ever lay your hand on my girlfriend's or my wife's butt again, I promise you I'll put you in the hospital, and my friends will have to visit me in jail. I mean, I have no problem saying stuff like that in defending someone's honor, but sometimes it's just like even like that thing that I said, it's like, "Are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure?"
Right.
And it's like some guys will stop and think about it for a second, or his friends will go, dude, he's giving you an opportunity to get out of this right now. And it's like, we don't have to do this. This is not necessary. Usually it's the stupid people that, accelerate things. I can de-escalate something really quickly.
Drunk. I mean, the bars, you've seen it.
All
It's
the
always
time.
the smallest guy, right? He's starting to like at least bring something to the party.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to break your brain on something. So DC, it was about a year ago when they, I don't want to say it was martial law, but they increased the policing. The federal government took over some of the civil policing of the area. It was a big to do, blah, blah, blah. But they did the year over year numbers, right? And the crime rate statistically was a huge drop year over year. It was something like 56% down in crime and everything across the board from stolen vehicles to robberies and all that. So pretty impressive numbers. So let's remove the fact of whether it was the right thing to do or not. I don't want to get on the political part of it, right? I just want to look at the success of it for a second, okay? So it's doable. They did it. Any city could do it. Now, okay, so now it's been done. We probably already knew beforehand it could be done, but now we've seen it. It happened. And then I started thinking, it's like no different than going in and taking over a poorly run restaurant, right? Restaurant that's losing money, and you turn it around, and you motivate the staff, and you cut the cost. All the trinkets that get involved in turning around a business. It's all doable. So why don't more cities do it? Why do you think they allow so much crime?
I don't think that they think they're big enough to handle it. I mean, it just because you see things perpetuate. Now, I don't want to be the cynic and say because crime pays people to turn the other way. So, I mean, who knows? I don't want to say that about my city or any city. I'd hope that doesn't happen. But you and I both know it happens all the time. I mean, where there's corruption, there's a possibility of corruption that's going to happen. So I don't know. I mean, it's like, what do you think?
Well, it's just like I said, it's just doable. I think the will has to be there. If there's a will, there's a way.
There's a will, there's a way.
That's the way it goes.
Well, let me see what time it is right now. It's 5:24. I know we've had some requests for some questions, so I thought we'd slowly work ourselves into a couple
Yeah, I
of
never saw the back
questions.
of your cards. What's the name of yours called? Let's tell people.
Chat
Chat
pack.
pack.
Chat pack. These are the chat packs.
Throw it at me.
Okay. If you could have any book instantly memorized cover to cover, which book would you choose?
No brainer. The Big B.
Yeah, well, that's
Bible.
I study that every day, and it's like I would be to me that's just the there's an acronym they call it the beginning instructions before basic instructions before leaving Earth, BIBLE, and it's just that there's so much that makes sense. Even when I was during pandemic and I was reading the Bible at an airport, and this guy looked at me and goes, "Bible, huh?" I said, "Let me ask you something. Last year when they shut us down, were you scared?" He goes, "Yeah, I was afraid." I said, "I was terrified, man. I can't imagine. All I saw was Soylent Green and all these movies from my past, all this crap happening." And I said, and I just picked up this book and I started reading some stuff and I started feeling a little bit better. I started reading more and I'm like, you know what? It makes me feel better. So I just keep reading it because I keep finding more things that resonate within me. I mean, it's like the idea that we are the aroma of Christ on ourselves to God. And I thought, well, that's kind of a cool thought that he can smell Jesus on me. It's like
Right.
my daughter smelled me on a pillow one time, and I thought that's the same thing. She smelled me on this. My daddy was here. No, he wasn't. Oh yeah, he was. He slept there last night. But that's just kind of it's cool stuff. So yeah, that's I think the Bible is one of those things that has always been an amazing thing to me. It's been the best reading I can do. So, it's a good choice. Good choice. Okay.
Real quick, I know this is completely off topic before I get to your question, but in the last show we talked about the concern over the Secret Service, the handling of the situation that had taken place, and regardless of who the president would have been, Secret Service has a very specific role, and it seemed a little easily breachable that day. But then some other videos came out with some longer shots down the hallway. I don't know if you saw this, but at one point after the shooter had gone into that side room, it was like a bar cart room or something like that, just something where they kept some of the hotel supplies. After he had gone in there, just shortly before he ran out, a Secret Service or a police officer with a canine, and the canine was barking and drawing the person towards the door, right? And then the person just pulls the dog back and walks away, and it's like, what the fuck?
See, the
The
thing
whole
is,
purpose of the dog is to tell you that there's something, right? There's something
I,
going on over here.
I've dealt with police officers who have dogs, and that dog will be on you like white on rice until the guy pulls you off of him, until he says Platz, which is stop in German, Platz, So I've seen it in action. And I remember one time meeting, and the guy goes, "Hey, don't." He's out here. Don't make any sudden move. He's gonna come up and his dog's like German Shepherd sniff, not German Shepherd, those Malinois is sniffing me in the face. I'm going, fuck, I'm gonna get my face chewed off. But he was very kind to me. The dog was. But I don't believe any of this stuff because I'm from a time period when they shot. It's like you shut your fucking mouth or I'm gonna blow your head off. That's the way the Secret Service dealt with people who dealt with the president. I saw him tackle people and stuff like that. I've seen them in action in our days. This nowadays, it seems like it's a stupid stage, terribly staged play. Terribly staged play. I don't believe any bit of it. I don't. I don't believe that. I think most of the stuff they're trying to feed us is just propaganda, and so I don't. It's like I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I'm sorry. I'm very cynical about this entire
Are you saying you
situation.
don't believe they could be that inept?
I don't believe that they would allow them to be that inept. They don't. I don't believe in that position they could be that inept if unless they're allowed to get people killed. I mean, if not, you can just put any Tom, Dick, or Harry in charge. Well, I got a gun. I'm gonna protect the president. That's kind of it's like.
And in another shot, the first Secret Service agent that saw the guy running through and drew his gun, right? Well, by the flash at the end of the gun, they were able to show that he fired 5 times. And we're talking pretty point blank range, right? He wasn't more than 10 feet from this person. He missed 5 times.
See, I've known people that have worked in the Secret Service, and I've watched them shoot guns, and they don't even need to. They don't do these stupid things like that. They lock their arms against their body, and they like aim in a triangle straight forward and bam, 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 bam. 6 center shot hits. No problem.
Right,
Wham like that. Bam, 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 bam. And it's like, so this is all a bunch of crap. I don't believe any of it, dude. I really don't. Because I've seen it
right.
in action. And so you guys can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool me. I know what you're doing, and I will not buy into it. I've seen them do that with other things in the past too. That I don't buy into it. So they can play it out what narrative they want to. I mean, I've seen the thing is that I don't believe even Trump got shot in the ear. I just don't. It can't have happened. I mean, he might have grabbed his ear and put some blood, red on there or something. No, because if you, I mean, look at who is it that Marvelous Marvin Hagler's ear when Mike Tyson bit it
Oh
off.
yeah, right. Bit it off in the fight.
That thing doesn't come back. He's got his whole ear is perfect now again. No, if you got a piece of that shot off, it's not coming back. That's cartilage. It doesn't grow back. You don't mysteriously grow some on there again. So I just don't believe that you need to do that stuff to make yourself look better. Look here, I survived this. I did that. Trump, you have a scene. I mean, I I look at the he's the lesser of two evils, but man, I'm not impressed with who we've got up there. Some senile old man that just keeps getting worse and worse. I'm not impressed. It's like, dude, take a seat and let someone else take over because you're losing your freaking mind, dude. I'm sorry.
Uh,
Everything's the best. It's the biggest. It's the greatest. It's all that. It's all this. Yeah. Oh my God, I'm tired of it, man. I have put up with it for how many years? Anyway, ever since he grabbed him by the pussy, ever since then.
but in general, I mean, the results, were you 50%, 60%, 70%, 40%? Result based on just results for it's Oz behind the curtain, right? You're not aware of the other antics.
No, I don't
So,
like what's happening with our economy. I don't like it because I honestly believe that this misdirection is happening because his name is on that Epstein list and he's done some really shitty things that he's going to get out of for. And he's like, I just got to tread water till I'm out of office. So I secure all this stuff until I'm gone. Then they can't take any of it away from me. But I don't believe it. It's like, I'm sorry. It's misdirection. How do you create? I mean, and also his family is making money. There's a lot of insider trading that they tell us shouldn't go to happen because, oh look, Martha Stewart got in trouble for it. But I would be safe to venture that their millions were made by the Trump family because of the oil situation. I'm sorry. It's like it's like all of us are suffering. I mean, $6.35 a gallon for gas here. That's ridiculous. I don't drive much anymore. I can't. It's just ridiculous
right.
too. So it sucks. What are you about 5.50 a gallon now?
No, it's four something. You got to remember about a buck 50 of yours is in tax greater than most states. So the gas price is not that different. So if you look at your gas price here and there, that's not the problem. It's the tax.
It's where I live. I don't want
And
to be here.
California has very high gas tax. So does, certain states do, it's just the way it is. But yeah, I mean, everyone's feeling the pinch, but I mean, we've weathered bad economies and they come back. It's gone up and down. I don't think it's here to stay. There's no certainty of it at this point. It doesn't reflect in the stock market or the mutual funds on a financial basis. It's not reflected yet. Certainly not even near a recessionary situation, I don't believe. But yeah, I mean, things are definitely a lot more. I mean, stupid things you never even thought about before. Like, I went to get deodorant. It was like $10. And I'm like, what? God, I thought I used to buy this shit for like $1.99.
Well, I mean, the first time I bought a gallon of gas was 24 cents. I mean, that was back when I was mowing lawns. But I mean, I remember during the gas crisis in the late 80s, late 70s, and 79, I believe. It was in 1979, I believe. Yep, 79 and the beginning of 80, that whole gas crisis. I mean, it was a dollar a gallon and we were blown away, just blown away at the price of gas. And now my friends used to have, their parents had nice cars. They were dentists and they had the Mercedes diesel. And diesel was cheaper than regular gas. And it makes sense because
Right. It used to be like half.
well, it'd have to be because if you look at the way they process gasoline, one of the stages of the development of gasoline, of the distilling process, is diesel fuel. And then you have to keep processing it to get to this other state. So they're charging more for something that takes less to do just because it's
Right,
just such a
right. I
luxury.
heard. Now, does it still involve crude oil? Is it still a byproduct of crude oil?
It would have to be. I mean, they have diesel engines that run on like Crisco or whatever. I mean, I've seen the ones that run on. It smell like a Chinese restaurant when they're going by. It's like, oh, okay, he's got an F-250.
All of a sudden, I'm craving cheese sticks.
That's right. I want some kung pao chicken right
I
now.
want
What's
some
going on here?
fries.
But that's what you got to deal with. Hey,
But
I'm not too happy with the way things are going on in this world. I'm not. I mean, it's just not enough. There's too much of everybody trying to get their just desserts, and it's like if you would just stop and help people a little bit more, it'd be a lot more pleasant place to be. And that's just the
right,
kind of I used to be I'm gonna take what's for me now, and that's it. But my wife's taught me really how to have a gracious heart. So I'd rather operate that way, you know. So
do you vote?
yes, I do.
And you got some big elections coming up.
Oh yeah, I got to sit down and take a look at all the paperwork here. Next couple of
Seems to be a
days.
lot of people running.
Yeah, in fact, I even know. I don't know the person, one of the persons running for a local office. My my wife's daughter, my daughter, her boyfriend is working for this campaign. Like
Oh, nice.
I mean, I don't. The thing is that I don't bet party. I bet politics. I
Right,
bet issues. I bet stances on things. So, I mean,
right,
I've been one way and voted the other way, and I've been that way and voted the other way. So, it just depends on who's got the best stance on things. Is the way I vote.
right. Well, one of our favorite topics, my friends, small talk.
Small talk.
Small talk. Both
Hey,
you and I know we've talked about this. It might have been even early on. We've talked about that topic back before we even started airing the show. But we had mentioned that we're the type of individuals you can parachute us into a gathering or a party, right? And you're just gonna schmo along, right? Right, no problem. Hey, right. For some people, that's a petrified, right? Having and not that I like big groups, but when I have to, I can pull it off.
but see, it's I've worked in every kind of restaurant, and when I worked at Emily Shaw's, that was 4 star, and you've got chefs, and you've got a sommelier, so it's really high end stuff. So you get to
Right.
see stuff like that in action. And then you get an appreciation for that. I mean, it depends on where you're going and what they're serving. But I don't know. I love that fine dining experience. I really do. Did we get off the subject somehow? Did I miss that somehow?
No, we never got to the subject. I'm going to read you the card. Small
Okay,
talk.
talk to me about your
Small
small
talk.
talk.
Ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
And I'm just going to keep this card. I'm not going to give you a choice of questions this time. Sorry. We're just going to go one, two, three, four, five. Maybe
Five.
not in a row.
Five.
What's an invention you wish existed to make daily life easier? God, that is such a tough question for you because we're like in prime technology these days. But what's an invention you wish existed to make daily life easier? Jesus. You're welcome to pass on that. That's a
See, here's the thing. It's like you're absolutely right. Life has gotten to the point where if I can't think of it, AI will think of it for me. I mean, it's like I
right.
don't. So it's like, what have I missed here? Well, Kelly, you've missed
Oh,
this and this.
you know what, dude? You've got your thing there. Ask it. Ask it. Siri, ask AI what daily invention would make my daily life easier. We got to hear what AI says.
Hey Siri, I want to ask AI a question. Okay, what invention would make my life easier that has not been invented yet? Let's see what it says. It says to identify an invention that would truly make your life easier, we have to look at the friction points of modern existence, the time consuming chores, the mental load of decision making, and the physical limitations of the human body. You sound like a damn politician, is what you sound like. It's like no, it's not really giving me a straightforward answer.
Yeah, I was just saying, for a second there, it sounded like you were running for office. It sounded like a completely polished response to a question, right? You got to
Right.
give them credit,
Actually,
even
if
when they don't know.
it's not an invention, but it's like my wife would never go for it. But I want a girl Friday to just take care of all my stuff. I mean,
Right.
have somebody that would just go, hey, put this in my calendar for this day, do this day. I'm going to the gym here, need this, do this. I need to pick up this. Have like a girl Friday. I just don't want a guy Friday. I'd rather have somebody
Well,
that's
I
going to
mean,
take care of me.
in a sense, your invention is just coming, on the market in the sense of the robot or the AI robot, which probably could do 70% of those things already, if not already be able to drive and get to the store, but they wouldn't even have to drive. They could call themselves an Uber, right?
Right.
I mean, they could be self-sufficient in handling your needs. So,
Well, there's a lot of controversy over that idea because there's a lot of, I mean, a lot of people who talk about population growth are saying, look, people are getting autotonic right now, and they don't want to go out anywhere. They don't want to interact. They'd rather have an AI girlfriend or AI boyfriend or just imaginary stuff, just get their endorphins that way and not have to replicate. So they don't have any kids, and so it doesn't. I mean, so there's a lot of danger to me in that artificial stuff. I just don't get it. I don't like sitting at Disneyland with the rides that look like it's almost real. No, I don't. I like to know it's fake. I'm okay with Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't have to actually go through the water and actually like, like a sailor. That's not important to me. But I think it gets taken too far. I just do. And people need more. And I think that if you have these AI dolls or AI situations, that it could make my life easier for to take care of all the stuff. Then would you want someone to talk to? That's why I want you to see this movie. I mean, I don't want to say much more about it, but this guy that's out in the middle of nowhere, just the how he interacts with what he does, is kind of cool though. So, what invention would you like that hasn't been invented? Can you think of one? You'd have to pass on it, wouldn't you?
anyway, what invention would I like? It's just a bizarre question. Who knows? My life is so easy right now, so I can't even think of anything. Shoot me another question.
Okay. If you were making a list of the five things, not people, the five things to make you happiest in your life, what five things would you write down? Five things, not people, but things that you could give yourself that would make you happiest in your life.
Oh, so you mean I can't be like I can't say like family or something like that? It has to be an object or
Those are five things that make you the happiest. No, I think family, not, it says not
yeah.
people. It
So I
says
think the
not
five
people.
things that make me
Not people.
happiest would be healthy
Okay.
and then self-sufficient financially, the health of my children and grandchildren, and I certainly would like to be continue to try to be a better person. If that's not an object, those would be the most important, and the last would just be to just do what I do best, and that's just try to make the best of most situations. I've always believed that, you're dealt a hand, you play it. They're not always great. Life's like that. It just happens. Some things are so fucking kick ass, right? And then other things are like a kick in the balls, and you're like, oh, that doesn't feel so great. But it just happens. So you get through it. Doesn't bother me. You know me.
Yeah.
There's not a lot that I'm pretty easygoing.
Well, the
I can
thing is
swing.
like they've asked me to help them with, there's a women's tea on Saturday. Look, we just need your help. I said, what do you need my help with? And they said, well, could you just orchestrate it from the kitchen on how to do everything? I said, yeah, I can come in and help you out. Because it's like, I did it last year and I'm like, look, no, you can't do this a plate at a time. I said, take all those restaurant trays and put them in that room, put all the plates on there, and this, we're going to make one plate that's going to be the example of every plate's going to look. Now you're in charge of the grapes, you're in charge of the quiche, you're in charge of this, and what you're going to do is go around every plate. You're going to put those on the plate in a nice way, like it looks on this plate.
Right. And tea, do that's when they make the little sandwich where they cut the crust off, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like they're going to do like little cucumber sandwiches and like little
Yeah.
croissant sandwiches, like chicken salad. Yeah, that's exactly the kind of thing it's going to be. And quiche, got to get some quiche in there too.
Oh,
So it's like, look, I said,
and I'm such a big eater, I would look at that and I would like, oh, okay, so what's everyone else having?
no, but that's why it's a woman's tea and not a men's tea. Because
Oh,
because
thank
for
God.
what men have at my church is
You're
next
trying
Saturday.
to.
Well, next Saturday is men's breakfast, and it's just like, eggs and cheese with, and lots of bacon and lots of sausage and
Right,
pancakes and biscuits and gravy. That's what we have at
right.
ours. But they have little
Oh
tiny
man.
things because it's more conversation. The food just happens to be there. But these people have, I mean, it's like in the restaurant business, it's no big deal. I
Right.
make 27 sandwiches, 28 sandwiches for my wife once a month. And she's like, "How do you do that?" I said, it's you get good at doing banquet type of stuff. You just set it. You don't do one at a time. You do them all together, one layer at a
Yeah.
time.
And it's a timing thing. Just like, we've talked about it before, like when you're doing, even if it's just a dinner for you and Sue. I know even me, I jot it down on a piece of paper. Okay, first I'm going to do this, then I'm going to prep the blah blah blah. Then I'm going to start the water then I'm going to light the
Yeah.
grill. I work it backwards. I fucking time it out.
Amen. That's the only way to do it. And it's like the only thing that baffles me sometimes is when the plan gets changed in the midstream. I'm like, what? No, no, no. The meat's coming out a certain time. It can't sit for 30 minutes more warming in the oven. That's how you get things
Right,
dry.
right,
You know,
right,
so
right, right,
well,
right,
can't
right.
you just warm it in the oven a little bit? No, that doesn't work that way. You know. And so I mean, I try to teach them. It's like, look, if you do something like that, you have to wrap it in tinfoil and put it in a steam table. That's the best way you could do something like that. But
Right.
other than that. But you know, I think we've been very fortunate to have a lot of skills that people can't understand. But we can look at things. You can look at a restaurant how it's run. You can even stand outside and watch them work inside and go, "I'm not going in there." I mean, I've done that before. It's like there's no way I'm
Right.
going to deal with that restaurant. I see the way they're just doing. What I can see is like this. Imagine what I can't see. You know, so there's.
Right.
But
Are you like me? If I'm in like some small place or whatever, some family, place, I always like, hey, ask the waitress, hey, where can I wash my hands? Because I want to check out the bathroom. Isn't the bathroom the telltale? If the
yeah,
bathroom's a fucking shit zone, so's the kitchen. I mean, you
yeah,
know that. That's a standard rule. That's not just some quote that someone made up.
yeah.
That's how it fucking goes down. So when I go in the bathroom and it's like super clean, I'm like, order up. Big difference.
Well, it's like even the kids couldn't understand. Our favorite restaurant is this Hawaiian restaurant. It's called The Loft. It's over there in Los Alamos, Los Alamitos. And we went over there one time and they had a C on the door. And I said, we're not going near that restaurant. Well, why not? That
Right.
means that there's 29 points or 31 points have been taken off or something.
Uh,
That could be
that
a
means,
rat. A
yeah,
rat.
that means that almost means for sure that forget the fact that everything was under temp. There was probably rat shit or cockroaches.
It's like hantavirus lives in this restaurant. It's not going to
Right,
happen. So it's like,
dude. I won't even go into a bee.
neither will I. Neither will I. I'm not. And my
Yeah,
kids go, it's just
like
a
fuck
B. I'm like,
that.
20%. It's like I used to have problems when I tutored math and I was tutoring calculus. And calculus is just a concept and you use a lot of trig and algebra. And so guys would have problems. Go, oh, wait. Let me ask you something. What did you get in algebra? Well, I got a B. That means you're coming with 20% less of the stuff that you need to know. How about trigonometry? I got a C. All right, so we're talking 50% of the knowledge that you have to have for this course you don't have. So how can I teach you when you've got to learn that shit that's on top of this
Breaking
stuff?
down the math.
Well, it's like that's the way I work. It's like, come on, you're making your job harder for yourself. So it's a
You're like dude, you're bumming me out.
well, I'm just a realist. Okay, all right, let me see. Did you give me the last question? So I got one for
Oh
you.
no, I owe you one. Ready?
Okay, yeah, I'm ready, brother. Hit me.
I like this one too. Share a favorite childhood memory from a holiday celebration. What's your favorite childhood memory from a holiday celebration?
I think when I was just going into, say, first grade or something like that. No, it had to be more like fifth grade because went from a condo to a house. I mean, a 5 bedroom house on an acre with, I mean, we had a basement. And when I got there was already a pool table and a ping pong table and in the basement. And it was almost like a rec room set up for the kids. And that's where we could escape and be left alone and not bother the parents. But it was, to me, that was the most wonderful time. That's when I was listening to like Revolution Number Nine by the Beatles, and I was just a kid, but just going, this music is cool. And so I had a sister 4 years older than me, so he was hearing things like, Burgers, Hot Tuna, I should say, and Taj Mahal
Right.
and all this real good music. And so it's like that was probably the coolest time. That is like, and it was I was when I was a Redskin fan, 1971, 72, and I lived there. It was just amazing and loved it. That was one of my
Well,
best times in life.
hit me with one more and then we'll do the wrap. Real quick, before the last question, you don't mind me giving a little promo to the
Please
sponsor here?
promo because
Well,
we
we
love
want
our
to thank
sponsors.
Western States Restaurant Consulting for
Uh,
sponsoring the show.
Good people.
Where your vision is our success. Check us out online at thewsrc.com.
Very awesome. Awesome. Okay, this is a very cool one. Like I just imagine you're at a party. Most people have a favorite story or experience they love to share with people. So whenever I think about something that simple that I can share with people so it doesn't like take up a lot of time. But is there some like little blurb that you might say, like something that happened to me, someone you met or something you did that's one of your favorite experiences?
Well, I'll tell you what, there's one that stands out the most, so I'll just tell you that.
Okay.
And I don't know if it necessarily makes it my favorite, but is certainly the one that I remember top of the list all the time. I was at a Christmas party in Oregon. I didn't really know anybody. I was up there working under contract for a client, right? And someone had taken me to this Christmas party, and so everyone's sitting around, and we just talked about it a second ago. The king of small talk, no problem, blah blah blah. So I'm in this crowd, and someone was talking. There was about 6, 7 people, in a circle, and someone had mentioned something about earthquakes or whatever. And I told the story about how when my daughter was born, like about 3 hours after she was taken out C-section, Santa Maria, earthquake hit just outside of Pasadena, and did a lot of damage, right? I mean, like I had to, cover Kathy on the bed because you know how it starts. It's like, the first 10 seconds. Well, now I start seeing the popcorn and all the shit falling from the ceiling, and then I'm hearing the windows crack, and so I cover her up, and it goes on, and the TVs are dropping, and it's just fucking chaos, right? So it ends, and I end up making sure she's okay. I'm helping the nurses. We're going room to room. We're pulling the beds away from the windows because all the glass broke. The floor literally separated 1.5 feet. The doors that open up when you walk into the ward completely collapsed. Nothing held the frame anymore.
Wow.
And the women were all screaming because they just all had, the kids were down in incubators, right? They weren't with their children. So the women were fucking freaking.
I imagine.
So anyway, I'm telling this story, and then I said, and then as bad as that earthquake was, only one person had died, and it was an individual working across the street from the hospital at the Santa Anita racetrack, and they were cleaning up the stadium, cleaning up the seat area, and one of the metal support beams had weakened and came down and hit the individual and killed them. And I'm like, imagine what a freak accident that is. And this lady that's in the circle, I can't believe you would bring that up. That was my sister. How the fuck would I what is the chance that I would be telling that story and a family member would be involved, right? In a different state, 12 years later, what are the odds that that would come up? For a split second, I almost thought she was yanking my chain, right? I was going to start laughing like, oh, you got me. But she turned around and huffed off.
Wow, that's a
whoa.
What are the odds? I'd like to be able to bet on something like that, huh?
I mean, and how can you get angry at someone? Come on.
Yeah.
How could there possibly be intent? You'd have to research everybody's history that's going to the fucking party like you're 007. How would you know? But anyway, that was the craziest topic thing that I got involved in at a party that went south fast.
Wow.
Anyway, sorry to drag that on.
No, that's okay. I wanted to hear about it, but hey, it is about that time for us to say.
Yeah, it is. Farewell, my friend. Another show. That's it.
It's just another time. Some great times with my buddy Tony P.
Hey,
Always
buddy.
good to see you, my friend. You take care of yourself. Be a good human, and give that beautiful wife of yours a kiss for me, okay?
I will, and I'm going to say Pistons in 6. Pistons in 6. That's my prediction.
There you go. Pistons in 6.
Me to it. I'm going to write it down.
I'm just going to keep enjoying this train that the Atlanta Braves are on right now. Just enjoy the Walt Weiss train that I'm on.
Okay, buddy.
You take care, man. Have
You
a
be
wonderful
good.
day. Take care.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
pal.